Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Court sentences 2 INEC officials to 21 years in prison over 362 million naira collected from former Minister of Petroleum Dezani Alison Madueke during the 2015 general elections in Adamawa State. Senate begins probe of the Federal High Court invasion in Abuja by DSS operatives as the body of senior advocates of Nigeria wade into the matter. House of Representatives passes bill to compel submission of ministerial portfolios alongside list of nominees to the National Assembly by the President. And voters across the United Kingdom turn out in their millions in a general election to decide their leader for the next 4 years. For more information on our top stories and others, do visit our website, channelstv.com. youtube.com/channelsweb has videos of all our shows. The 2-day Aswan Forum on Peace and Development in Egypt has ended, with African leaders charting a course for sustainable peace and development on the continent. President Muhammadu Buhari and his Egyptian counterpart, Abdel Fattah El-Sisi, also met on the sidelines of the forum, where they pledged to collaborate to eradicate terrorism in parts of Africa. According to President Buhari, countries in West Africa are already in close collaboration towards combating terrorism by setting up a multinational task force. He said since terrorism is a worldwide phenomenon, a more collaborative effort is needed to rein in the menace. President El-Sisi, on his part, appreciated his Nigerian counterparts for honoring their invitation. He also praised President Buhari's leadership qualities and pledged to deepen cooperation and partnership with Nigeria in all areas of common interest. President Buhari is expected back in the country tomorrow. Now, it appears the planned rally of the All Progressives Congress, scheduled to hold tomorrow to welcome Mr. Osage Ize-Iyamu, may have been cancelled by the police. The police is citing security reasons for the decision and wants to avoid any sort of bloodshed in the event that the rally is staged. In an official communication between the Inspector General of Police and the Edo State Deputy Governor, the Inspector General of Police directed the suspension of the mega rally until further notice and called for a meeting of the political actors involved in the development with the aim of resolving issues. The APC National Chairman, Mr. Adams Ashomole, was expected to lead the rally to welcome Mr. Ize-Iyamu to the APC after defecting from the PDP. The Deputy Governor also insists that the rally will not hold as ordered by the police.
The leader of the party in Edo State is the governor of Edo State, Mr. Governor Obaseki. He's ready to receive all the members of PDP and other parties that want to join us. But we are saying we have our program on how we want to receive them. I want to receive them from the unit, ward, local government, senatorial, and we'll now have a mega rally where we'll crown it up. And that is our program. He has to join that program. But unfortunately, we are aware that the national chairman decided to give him bait. And I know the national chairman, when he was governor of Edo State, he will not tolerate any other person coming to give him date or inviting him for a declaration to his party in the state. For us, it's an insult for a man coming to join APC in the state to be the one inviting the governor to his decamping to his party. It's like you inviting me to my house to come and receive you. And we said no. We are aware that not just Ize-Iyamu, most of the unit, ward, local government executive, they are joining us. We have the list. There are so many. And we have programmed how we want to receive them. And they want to force themselves to do a rally tomorrow. And we have said that rally has to be cancelled.
We'll have more on the tension in that state. But this time, let's cross over to my colleague in Abuja. Here's Makwe Ogun-Yusuf. Makwe?
Hello, Ijeoma. We certainly have more on the situation in Edo State as Mr. Victor Oshoke, who is an ally of the National chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, is alleging that Governor Obaseki and his deputy are the ones fueling the crisis in the state. Mr. Oshoke, who was speaking on our political program Politics Today, says the move to stop the planned Friday rally is uncharitable. He believes the governor and his deputy are orchestrating the crisis to smear the name of the party's national chairman.
Is it not curious that somebody is decamping from the PDP to the APC, which is supposed to be an issue of celebration for the APC in Edo State? And then somebody is saying, the APC, people in the APC are saying that this rally cannot hold. What is the reason? We are supposed to be welcoming people into the party. So why should somebody, for what purpose? I mean, Elissi has said it clearly that he is joining the party to help strengthen the party ahead of the 2020 elections. So what is the reason that the governor and that the government do not want the rally to hold? The point about what is happening in those states is that the government uses every opportunity available to create a crisis. They just want crisis because they want the name of the national chairman to be dragged into every incident. That is the strategy they are using. Ordinarily, this would have been a very simple decamp exercise. But they want to create a crisis out of it because they want to discredit the national chairman. They want to keep saying the national chairman is involved in the crisis. Incidentally, the national chairman was in Abuja when Benin was burning. So this had nothing to do with the national chairman, just to be in the news for the wrong reasons.
Before the suspension of the planned mega rally, the pictures you see there was the situation in some parts of Benin City earlier today. Some youths put up bonfires at some strategic locations in the city, with the Benin Airport Road being the most visible. Irate youths are seen chanting political songs, and the tension from all indications are about the planned welcome rally for Mr. Osage Ize-Iyamu, who recently defected from the PDP to the APC. Mr. Ize-Iyamu is scheduled to be received by the national chairman of the APC and former governor Adams Oshomole, who's been in a political rift with his successor, Governor Godwin Obaseki. And that's all from Abuja. It's back to you, Ijoma.
Thanks a lot, Mark Bear. The role of deposit insurance in promoting financial stability of the nation has been reiterated by the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation as it continues its sensitization exercise of relevant stakeholders. At a training of judges of the appeal court, the managing director and chief executive officer of the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, who was represented by the executive director in charge of operations, also says the various challenges, especially the misconception of its mandate and basic principles of deposit insurance among Nigerians, is something that they are faced with.
Can we take our seats, please?
Justices of the Appeal Court at the ceremonial hall of the national headquarters of the Appeal Court of Nigeria. This is the 7th time the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation is organizing a sensitization seminar for jurists on deposit insurance systems. Declaring the event open, the president of the Appellate Court, Justice Zainab Bulkachwa, speaks on the importance of deposit insurance system to Nigeria's financial health and why a collaboration with the judiciary is a step in the right direction.
Last year, after our interactions, the court became effectively, efficiently, and judiciously equipped with the knowledge of deposit insurance. And so far, the court has addressed appeals before it judiciously. This collaboration will help promote healthy discourse and mutually inclusive strategic role played by the court and the corporation towards ensuring that the stability of the financial system in Nigeria is sustained.
On his path, the Executive Director of Operations of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, who stood in for the MD CEO of the corporation, Mr. Umar Ibrahim, explains why sensitizing players in the sector and Nigerians in general is critical to enhancing deposit insurance systems in Nigeria.
The NDIC, since inception, has been confronted with various challenges, which include the misconception of its mandate and the basic principles of deposit insurance system among Nigerians generally. Now, this phenomenon had been responsible for challenges such as unclaimed dividends following bank closures, judgments being obtained against the corporation for the liabilities of closed banks.
Both parties are confident that this interaction and many more in the future will expand the development of deposit insurance in Nigeria.
Now, we're going to take another look at the House of Representatives issue, that them passing that bill to compel submission of ministerial portfolios along with the list of nominees. And to do that, I'm being joined live from Abuja by a member of the House of Representatives representing Delta South, Mr. Ben Igbakwa. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10 tonight. Now, there are a number of proposals.
Very much, Gemma.
That's great. There are a number of proposals, but let's start off with the one that we understand you're sponsoring, which is proposing a timetable for submission of the nominees, etc. Why is this expedient at this time?
Well, first, correction, I represent Ethiopia Federal Constituency of Delta State, not Delta Central, and not Delta South. And for that, I think the last ministerial screening that happened in the country, you're aware of it, and the cry from the public as regards the caliber of persons and the screening process that happened. Naturally, we are legislators, and the Section 4 of our Constitution gives us that express approval to make laws for the country. And where there are defects or where there are lacuna that was not envisaged by the people that created the Constitution, it is our responsibility to correct it, and that is just what we're doing, because it is known all over the world that it's only in Nigeria that ministerial nominee or commissioner nominees are submitted without portfolios. And when portfolios are not attached, what do you expect the lawmakers to do? Because most time it's actually the lawmakers that take the blame. They are labeled as bow and go legislators, and that, I think, it's not actually the true position, because the public does not know that the Constitution actually created that opening. If you look at Section 147 and 192, it's almost absolute. So that's what we're trying to cure, and that's why I brought the amendment.
All right, do you think that is all that is needed to improve transparency? You talked about the bow and go practice. That still happens, and you find that, you know, I don't know whether it's something that is unwritten or etc. Did you talk about that as well, quickly? Can you hear me, Mr. Igbakwa?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, great. Would you respond if you can, or should I repeat the question?
Yes, if you didn't hear me, okay. What I was saying is the fact that the Constitution in Section 147 and 192 made provision for the president-elect and the governors to select whoever they want as ministers and commissioners. But the office of a commissioner or a minister is actually an institutional portfolio given to the president and the governors in trust, and they can only give it to whoever they want. But in doing that, we discovered from the last screening and the cry from Nigerians that the ministerial nominees and the commissioner nominees, the way they are screened, they believe that the legislature is not doing enough. So that is why the last time 43 ministerial nominees were screened within 7 days, and some of them had to take a bow and leave because there's really nothing to ask them for. So what we're trying to do here, first, you campaign to govern or be the president of a country, and you took oath of office, and that is supposed to last for 4 years. And you see, at times, 7 months down the lane, 6 months down the lane, nothing has happened. Governors don't bring names of their commissioners. President don't bring the names of their ministers. And that means at that period, you definitely nothing can happen because you cannot go to the National Executive Council. You cannot go to the State Executive Council because you need commissioners to do that. So meaning that certain decision of government, the policy trust of that government will still be in the dark because once a new government takes place, come to office, the people expect to know the blueprint. The people expect to know what to expect, what to get from that government. They want the government to come out with the policy direction so that they can follow up. But if for 6 months, after a lot of anxieties and expectation, the governor, elected governor or elected president is just bringing the names of their ministerial nominees or the commissioner nominees, and again, they are coming without portfolio. And you expect the legislative arm of the government, be it state or national, to do magic. There's nothing we can do. That is why we have come with this amendment to the Constitution, because we see that there's a lacuna, there's an opening that is almost becoming obsolete for elected president and elected governors not to bring their nominees on time. And again, bringing the nominees without portfolios is absurd. And I believe Nigeria is the only country in the world. Then again, we're looking at creating time for other things. There are situations where certain persons have to be screened by various committees. It's not everybody that has to be screened and screened at the plenary, so that plenary can they can have more time to do work at the plenary. Those are some of it. Then again, in fighting corruption, we want to do everything possible as a legislative arm of government to assist the president in his fight against corruption. So whoever he's nominating or the governors are nominating, they should actually get to Code of Conduct Bureau, feed the asset and liability form.
Apologies, we really do have to go. Mr. Ben Igbakwa, apologies again for getting the constituency wrong. It's Itim constituency that he represents in the House of Representatives. Thank you so much for joining us. And when the news at 10 returns, International Finance Corporation's country manager recommends creation of special courts to handle dispute between borrowers and lenders in Nigeria's credit market. That's on Business News. Rejoice.